Going over to the business blunder of the day, you have a GMC truck being recalled because part of the grill could just fall off when you're driving, which, the GM quality, of course. Now, this comes to us thanks to Motor1.com, specifically Chris Smith, who's a writer over there, in which they say, quote, whoops, GM recalls a GMC Sierra because grill pieces could fly off. They say the upper grill section of 70,000 Sierra 1500s could detach without warning, which, of course, I feel bad. I know a couple of friends who buy these vehicles and family members. I do have family who worked at GM, both assembly line as well as management, so they used to get those friend and family discounts. And again, those retirement, some of them still drive because they have those retirement perks. But like, yeah, they're just so unreliable, and they make a couple good cars, but overall, let's just say it's almost like gambling when you get one of them. Now they say, quote, General Motors has a small problem, though they have these ginormous grills. Look at the size of these things. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that redesign. Every year the grill gets bigger and more obnoxious. This is worse than BMW. And people make fun of BMW for the giant grill, or now they call it the pig nostril grill. They say that's obnoxious. That's like the side of a barn, the size of that front grill. And it just looks so, it looks as so rudimentary. A simple AI project just, made it in something better than Microsoft Paint, but just barely. Now they say, quote, General Motors has a small problem with grills on the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck. The grill deflector, the top part of the grill surround, can unexpectedly detach. Parts flying off the vehicles obviously creates a safety issue, which prompted a recall of 70,768 trucks. Specifically, the problem affects the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 equipped with the chrome grill. According to the recall documents from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, there could be defects in the fasteners that hold sections of the grill in place. Right. There are 8 attachment points, all of which could fracture. Jeez. Should all of them break, the deflector can come off, the trim piece may appear loose and rattle before it ultimately exits the scene. The recall further specifies the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck built after the mild facelift it received later that year. At this time, the recall doesn't extend beyond 2022. It also doesn't apply to trucks that have the grills other than the chrome. They say an exact reason for the attachment point fracture isn't given. A GM employee initially notified the company of a possible problem after getting a complaint from a customer. An initial investigation was opened in early 2024, but closed 1 month later because no defect trend was identified. Of course. Jeez Louise. In May 2024, a Reddit thread was posted describing the exact issue with several other 2022 GMC Sierra owners chiming in. GM then opened a new investigation in December 2024 due to a, quote, rise in claim rates. Subsequently, GM noted 1,225 field complaints received from vehicle owners between April and December. Jeez. Heaven forbid one of them came off when you're, driving on the highway or something and caused an accident. 1,225 field complaints. Jeez. They say that 4 complaints allege a vehicle accident occurred. As a result, GM isn't aware of any injuries related to that problem yet. The automaker, quote, developing a remedy for the problem, but at the same time, there's no fix available yet. They say that parts diagrams show the deflector as a separate piece, but the GMC Sierra 1500 owners on Reddit claim that the only way to get it is to buy an entire grill. Ouch. In the meantime, GMC dealers are instructed to stop all sales of affected 2022 Sierra 1500s, whether they are new or used. Wow. They say that owner notifications will be mailed out March 24th. Or just tune into this podcast for, seems like half the business blunders are automotive related. Usually cover it months ahead of those little papers being mailed out, which, again, these dealers are really lucky this wasn't identified in 2022. Because imagine having a big, most important vehicle on your lot by profit margins. You're told, hey, you can't sell that because we made a mistake. The grills could just fall off. Which, yeah. And yet another reason not to buy one of these things. And it's also automatic only. Trucks should all have 3 pedals and a stick shift. That's just me. Jeez Louise. So, yeah, 1,225 incident reports. That number blows my mind. And again, silver lining of the situation, they're kind of ahead of the situation in terms of no one died from it. There's one alleged accident. Doesn't sound like it's too serious. But again, I'm not sure allegedly there are people in charge of quality assurance at General Motors. I mean, a great way to see if this is really worthy of long-term longevity and reliability would be just drive down the streets of Detroit or Chicago. If you could survive that, you can survive anything. And that'd be a good parameter for quality, I think. But again, it seems like a simple, again, based on how it sounds, a road vibration test would fix this. AKA, if you rattle the car enough, the fasteners sound like it'd be the first thing to break. Maybe they didn't put it through that test, or maybe they didn't test it long enough to actually see it bear fruition, or actually be shown in study. But again, there's already a lot of things going against these trucks. And it is, of all things to care about in the GM portfolio, I can understand not giving a damn about the Chevy Blazer EV. They lose money on every EV sold. They will eventually make a profit, I suspect, in the long term. Probably. But the most important thing GM makes is trucks. That is the most profitable thing they make. There's a reason why every automotive company has crossovers, they have big SUVs, they have trucks, and they don't make a lot of small entry-level economic cheap cars anymore. It's because there's not a lot of profit. When GM sold the Chevy Cruze, which, I love the Chevy Cruze Eco with the stick shift, was awesome, but when Chevy sold the Cruze, dealerships was almost, the rumor was the manufacturer lost $400 and the dealerships would lose like $480. The only way they made money off of it was if they sold, financing, accessories, all that kind of stuff. But the little cars, they're loss leaders to hope that you someday come back to get like a ginormous, Chevy Suburban 5800, whatever trim level they call it. Those are the real profit is. The fact that they don't have 2 to 3 times the regular quality assurance focusing on these trucks, the crown jewel that's fueling the profitability of General Motors, I gotta say, Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors, gotta say that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, first live stream Q&A is going to be Saturday, February 22nd, 6 p.m. Texas time, or some people call it Central Time. Thank you again for taking the time to tune in. Don't forget to take the time to like, subscribe, and comment. Actually, give me a thumbs up, or comment. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.